Let's call the meeting to order. All 6 of us are present this evening. Is Matt Spahn here this evening? Matt was to do the invocation, but since he is not here, I will do that. And then the flag salute. Billy, would you like to lead us in the flag salute after the invocation? Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this beautiful sunny day in Enid, Oklahoma. It is another great day in Enid, Oklahoma. We'd ask that you bless the city council, the staff, and those associated with the meeting tonight. We would ask these things in your name as we pray. Amen. Billy?
Join me in the flag salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4, consider approval of minutes of the regular commission meeting of April 18, 2017.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ron.
Second.
Second by Jonathan. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-0. Under item 5, awards, presentations, proclamations, and organizational business. Item 5.1, present the pet available for adoption at the city animal shelter.
That'll be here. Oh, it is here.
Yep, I'm looking at animal.
Wake her up.
Good job, Chief.
How's it going, everybody? My name is William Breeze. I work for Animal Control here in Enid. And this is Nala. She is a 5-year-old Mastiff mix. She's currently in our adoption program, looking for a new home to go to. She's just one of a few others that are in it right now looking. So we encourage everybody to come out and take a look at what we've got and see if you can't help one find a forever home. Thank you.
She's good. She wants to go.
Item 5.2, employee recognition. Gerald?
Hey, Ken, would you come on up here, please? Everybody may have read about Ken recently in the newspaper. He made the newspaper, and not necessarily because of what he does for the city of Enid, which is wonderful, but what he does for the community, and in particular, United Way. So, Ken, I have a commendation here for you tonight. Mr. Ken Helms, Fire Marshal for the Enid Fire Department, has been awarded the Dick Lambert's Memorial Award. Ken Helms received the award recently during the United Way of Enid in Northwest Oklahoma's annual meeting. Carol Lamberts presented Mr. Helms the prestigious award and said, although he is a tireless, devoted civil servant to our community, he undoubtedly had no idea what would be asked of him, his wife, and his entire workplace when he joined the United Way Board of Directors. Ms. Lamberts added there was never a job too large or too small that Ken didn't see through to completion, and always with absolute perfection. I agree with Ms. Lambert's description of Ken Helms' work ethic. Ken has served the city of Enid for 19 years as a firefighter, driver, and fire marshal. Ken Helms is an exemplary employee worthy of recognition for going beyond the call of duty with his personalized commitment to excellence. Ken's devotion to duty in both his personal and professional life reflects the highest standards expected of a city of Enid employee. Therefore, it is with great honor I present this letter of recommendation to Mr. Ken Helms. So, let me find this form for you. I don't think you have that one. So, there you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gerald. It's really been my privilege to work with United Way for the last several years on their board. I appreciate the support of Chief Jackson to give me a little bit of latitude for attending meetings and other events to do that and represent the fire department with the United Way. I appreciate the things United Way and their member agencies do for the community. It's a very worthy cause, and I would encourage any of you that are interested in helping with human service needs throughout the community to look into United Way. Thank you very much.
Item Item 5.3, conduct interviews and consider appointment of Ward 2 Commissioner to fill an unexpired term to May 2019.
And we do have both applicants here, Mr. Mayor. So if you would like to call them up, they can introduce themselves. Their packets are in there, but they may want to speak to you before you take any further action. Both Derwin Norwood Jr. and Willard D. Vinson Jr. are both here.
Have you chosen who's going first? Derwin. If you won't choose yourself, I will. Thank you for being here.
To the mayor and the city manager and the quorum of commissioners, I just thank you for the opportunity that you've given and allowed us to be able to stand before you. My name is Derwin L. Norwood Jr. I have some of the greatest parents, Derwin L. Norwood Sr. and Deborah Norwood. They're here, and these are my parents here. And I'm just, I'm actually humbled by the opportunity to be able to serve my community. And many times people have asked me, why do you want that position, or why would you want to do that type of work? First of all, I was born here in Enid, and I lived part of my childhood here, and I moved back home in 1997. And I began to see Enid thrive. I seen businesses come in. I seen the culture change, and I just want to be a part of it. And it's nothing that no one can take away from me, the fact that I was born here. And that's very important, to be able to give back to the community in which you were born. And I don't plan on going anywhere. I own a small business here in Enid, Derwin's Construction, LLC. I'm on different boards. I do things in the community that I don't speak about. I just believe in just doing things to help other people. And it's not about me. I mean, truthfully, I'm not in this position to gain a name or notoriety or, be someone great. I just want to see life in this community thrive. And I don't want to just see one side of Enid thrive. I want to see the whole town of Enid thrive. And I think that I have some great ideas, whether they're rejected or accepted, given the opportunity to make them known. I'd like to be able to have some input. And also, I just believe that when you have a heart for people and you see things happen, you say, hey, how can I do, or how can I make a difference? I believe given the opportunity, I'll be able to do that. So like I said before, it's not about me. It's not about any of us. It's about all of us. And I just want to be a part of the city commission to be able to help make a difference in this community. And that's the gist of it for me. Any questions or?
One question, if I may, and I know you gave us a little bit of information about this in your resume, but if you would just expand a little bit on what your other activities in the community have been, other than your work history.
I've actually currently right now, I am a volunteer mentor in the Enid public school system, mentoring young men, young youth that may encounter different problems. As well, the biggest thing I'm proud of has been in the ministry. I'm an elder in the church, and I put God first. And other boards that I've served on, I'm currently a board member of the Dr. Martin Luther King Celebration Commission. I was the president of that board for 5 years, but I gave that position up because I wanted to see someone else grow in that area and give a different flavor, to the community. And I've served with the Habitat for Humanity. I've donated my time with humanity, Habitat of Humanity. There's other, can't even think of some of the other organizations that I've served on, but I have given back. Other than just, being paid for my services, I've actually done many things for free, and I believe that's so important.
Anyone else? Everyone, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Vinson?
My name's Willard Vinson. I live at 1913 South Cleveland. Mr. Mayor, City Council members, I moved to Enid in August of 2013. I came up here as part of my job working on Vance Air Force Base. There was a point in time when my career moves me around, and I hit the 1-year mark, and that's usually when it happens. And at that point, I decided that I wanted to make Enid my home. I've lived all around the world. I've been blessed to see both coasts of the U.S. and a lot of the stuff in between. The Orient and Far East, Europe, it's been a blessing. But the one thing that's been missing in my life is roots and a place to call home. I haven't had a hometown since I was in high school. I joined the Marine Corps, and I've been around the world. So the thing that happened about a year after I arrived here was me and Emma both sat down and took a hard look at what was going on. The contract out on the base was up for renewal, and a lot of times the position I'm in, that doesn't get picked up. The new company brings in their new people. And me and Emma took a hard look at our life and said, we're going to stay in Enid. If that means moving out of our house and getting down to bare bones and building it back up. So we took that step of faith and we took that walk. I became a member of the community. I joined a church. I can't express how much I love this community. It's really grown on me. Part of that love is to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem in the background. So doing so, I threw my name in the hat. I wanted to step forward and be a part of the process. Voting is one thing, but actually being a part of the full-blown process is another. I will say, regardless of the outcome of this, I will be engaged in city politics. I will be part of organizations. I wasn't born and raised here. I guess you could say I got here as quick as I could. So it's a place where I'm going to grow old with my wife. And I've got a lot of experience that I bring to the table. The positions I've held from started out as a United States Marine. That taught me integrity and discipline, something I needed desperately at that time in my life. And after that, I grew and got into management. And as a program manager, I'm responsible for a lot of the stuff that I seen downstairs in the budgetary rooms. I got a lot of employees, both exempt and union represented. Out on the base, our responsibilities cover everything of a small city. We've got civil engineering that has a fire department. We have engineering department. We've got pavements and grounds. We've got a transportation department with buses and taxis. We've community services with a library and child and youth programs. Local purchase, I budget for the government about $15 million a year in procurements and in construction contracts. So I've got a very diverse background, and I think that I'm very qualified to sit here. I would represent the people of Ward 2 and all of the residents of Enid. I would look forward to the opportunity if given it. So, thank you.
Any questions? Ron?
Just the same question that I asked Mr. Norwood. I know you haven't been here very long, but have you had any opportunity to get involved with any of the community organizations or any of the outside activities that take place here in Enid?
A majority of the activities that I participate in is through our church. We've got the Feed the Neighborhood campaign that I was actually able to witness firsthand last year, and we had the Making a Difference, the MAD. They have a charitable fundraiser and stuff that I got to be a part of and learn more about that organization. And then there's just mentorship groups through the church, a lot of small groups that we deal with through the church. That's really about it at this point.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I noticed we don't have ballots. Are we going to do this via motion, or what's the?
Via motion.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have ballots.
I would make first, let me say, thrilled with both of you. I hope that you both continue to be involved. Mr. Vincent, welcome to Enid, and now that your name has been said, I think, once in the paper, everyone in town is always looking for a new board member, and you will have no shortage. Thank you. I would move that we appoint Mr. Norwood to fill the Ward 2 seat for the remainder of the term.
Second that.
Motion by Ben, second by Tammy to appoint.
Derwin Norwood.
Any further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 4-2.
And again, thank you, Mr. Vincent, immensely for,
Thank you.
yeah.
Item 4, 5.4, administer oath of office to newly appointed commissioner for Ward 2, Derwin, and elected commissioners from Ward 4 and Ward 6. I will administer the oath of office. I'll meet the three of you right down here as soon as I can get there.
You too, Derwin. You get to jump in head first, man. Yeah.
When I get to the point that says, state your name, say it all at one time. Just make sure it's your own name. The oath of office. I, please state your name,
I, Jonathan White,
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma. And that I will not knowingly receive.
You have to memorize all that. You might give him a break. That's a.
Hey, you gonna go through the oath?
Good point. We're going to have to repeat
I just saw the look on his face.
You guys are right, I'm home. I didn't hear anything. These hearing aids aren't working.
Oh, no worries.
We're gonna start all over.
Okay.
I, state your name,
I, Jonathan White,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and that I will not
knowingly receive directly or indirectly
knowingly receive directly or indirectly
any money or other valuable thing
any money or any other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance of any act
for the performance or non-performance of any act
or duty pertaining to my office
or duty pertaining to my office
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear that I will faithfully discharge
I further swear that I will faithfully discharge
my duties as Commissioner of the City of Enid
my duties as the Commissioner of the City of Enid
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
We've made it. Congratulations.
All right.
Congratulations.
You bet.
Come on, 4, let's go. Okay. Yes, you did. Well done with your motion. Mr. Vincent.
The easy part's done.
Yeah, you guys got lucky. Start. Sworn in and then-
You are welcome to look off my agenda here.
We'll have a nameplate for you up there. You've got a voting machine in front of you.
And we have a meeting tomorrow at 11.
Yeah,
By the way,
yeah, and welcome to budget season.
Yeah.
By the way, if I do anything wrong, speak up.
All right.
I wondered why you guys had an awkward look on your face.
I saw John's eyebrows go about this high. Like, I'm never going to remember all that.
Yeah, I missed the first half. I was-
George was about 7 feet tall when I was talking. Sorry about that, but that's not my first mistake today. Item 5. 6.1. Do what? You're right. I'm sorry. Item 6, hearings. Item 6.1, consider a hearing to consider a request to close a portion of the alley on Block 9. Is that Douthitz? Douthitz? I've seen that for 40 years, but I've never pronounced it
I can
right.
tell you a really good story about
Douthitz, 3rd edition, a portion of West York Avenue, all in the alley of Block 3, Douthit, Whittingham Addition, a portion of West Indiana Avenue, all of the alley in Block 4, Douthit, Whittingham Addition, and a portion of Madison Street, all lying in the northwest quarter of Section 18, Township 22, Range 6 west of the Indian Meridian, Garfield County, Oklahoma. Robert?
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager. This is a public hearing to address a request for closing of right-of-way and alleys around the Enid High School area. It's actually in and around their parking lot area. I have an exhibit here that shows the areas proposed for closing in red. Be this slide to your left. And we have a slide just to the right, which shows the actual street right-of-ways and alleys on the plat. As you can see, the right-of-ways are surrounded by the Enid High property. Actually, I believe they actually own the property to the southeast corner. I believe that resident's been acquired, so they own all the abutting property. This notice has been sent to property owners within 300 feet and to utility companies of the public hearing to see if there's any objection. I have received none. I will want to point out one other thing. On the next slide, we show the utilities in the area, and I will want to point out that the ordinance will provide for closing these right-of-ways, but it will provide for maintaining utility easements in Madison Street, from sanitary sewer line to the south, the middle of the street to the south, provide for relocation of the sewer line that's shown in the street between Indiana and I believe that's York. This sewer line will be relocated most likely to the south, and easement will be maintained for that. An easement will be maintained for the water line in Indiana Street. The road will be closed, but a utility easement will be maintained. And the water line in York into the alley north, and sanitary sewer in the alley north of York will be converted to private service lines and private lines, as they will no longer serve a public purpose. It's a public hearing, and it's available if anybody has a request or a question. Be happy to answer any questions.
The area that encompasses is already all used by Enid High now, right? Their parking lot and all that?
Yes, that is correct. They actually, these are parking lots. They on the property around there, but they hadn't formally closed the road right-of-way. They just used them in the past. This would allow for formal closing those right-of-ways. They did acquire property in the southeast corner, which now allows to make full use of the property.
So nothing really changes that much.
No, except the only change will be, the sanitary sewer that goes across the alley,
Yeah, but as
be
far as,
diverted to the south.
as far as use goes, it's not gonna really change anything.
No use, yes, that's correct. No use change. Correct.
Okey-doke.
Have there been any other hearings?
This was heard before the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission. We do take it for the Planning Commission for their review, and there was no objection raised. They approved it. Approved the recommendation. They forwarded a recommendation for approval of the closings.
Further questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Item 6.2, conduct a hearing rezoning property described as Lot 1 and part of Lot 2, Block 9, Dothan's 3rd Edition, and part of Lot 2 and Lots 10, 11, and 12, Block 4, Dothan Whittingham Edition, located at the southwest corner of Jefferson and Wabash, southwest corner of Jefferson and Indiana, and the northwest corner of Jefferson and Illinois, for Enid Public Schools from R4 residential duplex or two-family dwelling district and R7 residential multifamily district to SU special use district. Chris.
Thank you, Mayor, City Commissioners, City Management. The slide in front of you shows the two areas being considered for rezoning. They're outlined in yellow. The balance of the campus is SU special use, which is the appropriate zoning for schools. The reason the yellow box that marked R7 there at Wabash and Jefferson was not rezoned when that higher education piece was added to the campus is that is allowed. Educational uses are allowed in R7. Working with the current school administration, it's their desire to go ahead and change that so there's no confusion in the future that the campus is all one thing. The other piece is at the bottom of the slide. Those currently were residents. They have been acquired by the school. They have been demolished. They simply are going to rezone them to SU, and they will develop parking lots there. It's consistent with our comprehensive plan. As in all zonings, we look to see that the road, water, and sewer is adequate to support the rezoning. It is in this case. Planning Commission is recommending unanimously approval to you. Any questions?
Questions? Thank you, Chris. Item 6.3, conduct a hearing rezoning property described as the west 72 feet of Lot 2, all of Lots 3 and 4, 33, 34, and 35, Block 6, Spalding's Garden Addition, located at 2906 North Emerson, from R4 residential duplex or two-family dwelling district to C3 General Commercial District. Chris?
Thank you, Mayor, City Commission, City Management. The area being considered for rezoning is outlined in yellow. Before you ask me the question, the blue part is already zone C3, but that is the legal description that the owner of the property gave us, and so we notified that as they directed us. So it's the area in R4, which is green, is the area being considered for rezoning to C3. If it's approved, we'll be expanding the C3 to the west, and the owner plans to develop an RV parking on the site if approved. As with the previous rezoning, we looked to see if the road, water, and sewer are adequate to support the rezoning. It was determined it is. We also took this in front of the Planning Commission, and their recommendation to you is to approve it unanimously. I know yes.
Oh, go ahead.
We did receive a protest, and these are just simply the utilities. Here is the protest that we saw. With a contrast, oh, this TV's better. I was looking at that one. The white box is the area being rezoned. The green line around it is that area within 300 feet. We did have 24 signatures on the petition representing 15 properties. 9 of the signatures were owners and 6 of the signatures are tenants. 2 of the owners designated there in red One owner has all 3 lots there together, and then that tiny piece of that just is inside the 300 are there, and only the proper owners within 300 feet are considered when determining the percent of protest, and that equals 5.4. So when protests get over 50%, they still can be approved. It just takes more than a simple majority of the commission. It would take 5 of you. In this case, it doesn't get anywhere near that 50%. So if it's your desire to approve it, you can with a simple majority. Yes, Commissioner.
Go back to the slide that had the half green and half blue, or, okay. So in the blue part, that's already commercial, right?
Correct.
What is there right now? Like, what is that? What business is it? Or what is there now?
The owner's here and can answer that. Can you answer that, sir? Please come to the podium.
We do have 3 people signed up to speak to item 6.3.
We have a restaurant on the property and apartments.
Speak up a little louder.
10 apartments and
Okay.
A restaurant.
Okay, and you want to build a parking lot on the other side?
Yes, it's actually in the back side is what I'm trying to develop.
What restaurant is it that's there?
Southern Twist.
Okay, I'm just trying to get in my head like where in town that is, because the squares don't really tell you much. Okay, so now, okay, I know where that is now. Okay, that's all I had. What are the, I guess, what is the main reason for the protest? Has that been stated, or just?
They're here, commissioners, and
Okay.
when they have an opportunity, they'll address you.
Thank you. We do have 3 people signed up to respond to item 6.3. First one is Karen. Help me. Hochhalter. Hochhalter. Okay. Hochhalter, okay. You might want to pull that microphone a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, my name is Karen Hochhalter, and I'm due to the fact it's going to depreciate the values of our homes. I have lived in that area for almost 38, 39 years. My girls have grown up in that area, and I'm afraid for my grandkids right now because of the volume of traffic this is going to cause. And like I said, also the depreciation of the value of my home. My home has been in our family for over 50 years, and I just would really hate to see that go down. And there's been a lot of traffic that hasn't been there before, and we're just really afraid for our kids right now.
When you refer to traffic, are you talking about vehicle traffic,
Yeah.
people, or, okay.
Well, and there's also been a lot of activity on bicycles that we haven't seen before. There's a lot of cars going in and around that area late at night. They've had one incident where that area was blocked off with cop cars and stuff and ambulances. We're just really afraid right now for our children. And, you know, the school bus usually picks up our kids right there at that corner, you know, and that's my main concern.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you. The next person is Tasha Estel.
My name's Tasha Estel, and I live on Emerson, just to the north of the rezoning area. My house was actually outside of the 300 feet by just a little bit. I am a mom with 2 boys, 11 and 13 years old. I'm just concerned with the traffic, with RVs being moved in and out, kids outside riding their bicycles. They've got friends that live down that street. They're on their bicycles constantly, and I'm just afraid people watching out for them decrease the value. I'm outside with my kids whenever they are outside, so I do pay attention to them. Typically, I don't let them go down there because of the traffic. There's been a number of times that you see grown guys with backpacks on their back just go up, stop in front of that location, be there 5-10 minutes, and ride their bikes away. Cars do the same thing already. I'm concerned with the traffic as well as the depreciation of my home value. I do own the home, and if I ever need to sell it for some reason, if I want to upgrade, it's already in a low area where the homes aren't valued as much, and I just think that that would make a big impact on my life trying to sell my home at a future date.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one was Deborah Seal.
Hello, I'm Deborah Sill. I've lived in Spalding Gardens my whole life. I went to North Enid schools and the Chisholm schools. And my concern was more traffic. The curb appeal is not going to be probably very good. And I do see the children playing on our street. And sometimes the cars come by pretty fast. And I just don't want any kids getting hit. And we do have different things that happen in our street that goes on sometimes, and I just don't want any, and our property would be more lower than it is now too. And I have about the same thing that they've all said. And I live on the corner, across from the church.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7, community development.
One question if I may for Chris. Chris, what is located on that property now? I can see there's some structures there, and I'm just wondering what's located.
I think there's a couple of RVs there and maybe one or two other vehicles in that aerial photo. And that's the problem. The code of office has told him he's not zoned to have those there. And so.
But it looks like there's some larger structures there up toward the north end.
What is that larger building used for?
You have a punch lot right on the corner across.
No, on your property.
Yeah, look back up there. Yep. Chris, if you would, use the microphone, please.
Sir, see where the red cursor is? Oh, it doesn't show up there. Right here. Do you see this building?
Bingo.
It's on your property? That's a house. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? We're going to,
So,
Tammy?
so the purpose of rezoning this is not to create a commercial RV park, but for someone to park their RVs because they're not zoned properly right now?
Right. He's zoned R4. He cannot have an RV park there. He wants to develop it into an RV, and the right zoning category for that is C3. So if the zoning is approved, then he'll submit his development plan.
For other RVs to park there?
Yeah, and how he's gonna, the lot, or the space that they'll park on, how he's gonna get water, sanitary sewer to each lot.
And he'd have to comply at that point with the development plan with all the rest of the requirements, the
Yes.
rest of the zoning requirements.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
We're ready for 7, community development. Item 7.1, an ordinance amending the Enid Municipal Code 2014, Title 11 entitled Zoning, Chapter 2 entitled Administration and Enforcement, Section 11-2-1 entitled Changes and Amendments to change Lot 1 and part of Lot 2, Block 9, Duthitt's 3rd Edition, and Lot 1, part of Lot 2, Lots 10 through 12 of Block 4, Duthitt Whittingham Edition to rezone certain property as special use and describing the same to amend the zoning map accordingly, providing for repealer, savings clause, severability, and codification.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ben.
Second.
Second by Ron. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 7.2, consider an ordinance rezoning property described as the west 72 feet of Lot 2, all of lots 3 and 4, 33, 34, and 35, Block 6, Spalding's Gardens addition located at 2906 North Emerson from R4 residential duplex or two-family dwelling district to C3 general commercial district.
I'll move to approve.
Motion by Ben.
Second.
Second by Ron. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 6-1. Item 8, administration. Consider a resolution amending the 2016-2017 fiscal year capital improvement fund budget by reducing appropriations in the amount of $100,000 to decrease the 2016-2017 appropriated amounts for the capital improvement department and amending the 2016-2017 fiscal year golf fund budget by appropriating additional funds in the amount of $100,000 to increase the 2016-2017 appropriated amounts for the golf department.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ben to approve. Second. Second by George. Further discussion?
Sorry, Aaron.
Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 8.2, consider an ordinance closing to the public a portion of alley in Block 9, Duthitt's 3rd Edition, a portion of West York Avenue, all of alley in Block 3, Duthitt-Whittingham Edition, a portion of West Indiana Avenue, all of alley in Block 4, Duthitt-Whittingham Edition, and a portion of Madison Street, all lying in the northwest quarter of Section 18, Township 22, Range 6 west of the Indian Meridian, Garfield County, Oklahoma, to consolidate the Enid High campus after application from the school board, providing for a repealer, savings clause, and severability.
Motion to approve.
Motion
Second.
by Ron to approve.
Second.
Second by Tammy. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Item 9, consent items.
I move to approve everything on the consent agenda.
Motion by Ben to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second by Jonathan. Further discussion? Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 10, we will now recess to convene as the Enid Municipal Authority. Item 11, all of the trustees of the Enid Municipal Authority regular meeting are in attendance. Item 12, the Enid Municipal Authority regular meeting is now in session. Item 12.1, consider a resolution amending the 2016-2017 fiscal financial plan for the Enid Municipal Authority by amending transfers out in the amount of $100,000 by reducing the transfer to the Capital Improvement Fund in the amount of $100,000 and increasing the transfer to the Golf Fund in the amount of $100,000.
Move to approve.
Motion by Ben.
Second.
Second by Jonathan. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 12.2, approval of claims in the amount of $226,765.46.
So moved.
Motion by Ben.
Second.
Second by George. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. You doing all right down there?
Yes, sir.
You'll go home tonight and wonder what you did. You'll go home tonight and wonder what you did. Item 13, we will now adjourn to convene as the Enid Economic Development Authority. Item 14, all of the trustees of the Enid Economic Development Authority regular meeting are in attendance. Item 15, the Enid Economic Development Authority regular meeting is now in session. Item 15.1, approval of claims in the amount of $6,000.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Tammy, second by George. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 16, we will now adjourn to convene as the Enid Public Transportation Authority. Item 17, all of the trustees of the Enid Public Transportation Authority are in attendance at the regular meeting. Item 18, the Enid Public Transportation Authority regular meeting is now in session. Item 18.1, approval of claims in the amount of $1,260.32.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jonathan,
Second.
second by Tammy.
Sorry.
Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 19, we'll now adjourn to reconvene as the Enid City Commission. Item 20, public comments. We have one person signed up. Diane?
Diane Levesque, 1324 West Stoke, and here we are again at the budget and talking about the event center downtown, and the fact, juxtaposed to that is the fact that Eskimo Joe still hasn't seen fit to make an all-year operation of sales, either downtown or Oakwood Mall. So I'm bringing to your attention again the health of your retail market here, regardless of what's going on online. Because you've got another money pit that you've been sinking money into, and that's Main Street Enid. Despite Main Street Enid, despite the event center being there, Soapweeds is still for sale to a serious buyer, and apparently, how many years is that now? Apparently, serious buyers don't consider your downtown worth investing money in. And premier of that would be Eskimo Joe's. So give that some thought, would you?
Thank you. Item 21, we will consider convening into executive session pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307C10 to discuss matters pertaining to economic development because an executive session is necessary to protect the confidentiality of the business pursuant to reconvene into regular session to take care of any necessary action.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ben, second by Ron. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you for joining us for the Enid City Commission meeting. If you have any questions or comments, visit our website at enid.org.